Welcome to The Explainer. We're about to dive into a food preservation technology that's literally thousands of years old, yet it's now being studied with cutting-edge science. And believe it or not, it all starts with this. All right, so take a good look at this. At first glance, it kind of looks like a weird, lightweight rock, right? Well, that's actually a potato. And get this, it's a potato that you can store for years, maybe even decades, without any refrigeration whatsoever. So how on earth is that even possible? Well, to solve this little puzzle, we've got to go on a trip. We're heading high up into the Andes Mountains in Bolivia and Peru, because it's there, in that unique climate, that you find all the ingredients for a truly incredible transformation. This incredible food, it's called Chuño. It's basically a naturally freeze-dried potato, and it's an absolute testament to the ingenuity of ancient Andean cultures. They figured out how to harness a super harsh environment to create a food that could get them through famines and even feed entire empires. And it turns out there's not just one kind of chuño. You've got two main types. The first is black chuño. That's made by freezing, trampling, and then just drying the potatoes right out in the sun. But then there's the white version, which is called tunta. This one involves an extra really clever step. After the freezing and trampling, it gets washed in a river and then dried away from the sun. And that little change creates a whiter, milder product that was actually once reserved for the Inca elite. Pretty cool, huh? So how exactly do you take a fresh, normal potato and turn it into this rock-hard food that lasts forever, using literally nothing but the mountain's climate? The process is, well, it's pure environmental genius. It all starts with picking the right potatoes, small, bitter ones that are naturally frost-resistant. Then they just spread them out on the ground to freeze solid during those frigid Andean nights. As the intense sun thaws them out the next day, the farmers get to work trampling the potatoes with their feet. This does two things. It squeezes out all the water and helps get the skins off. And they just repeat this whole cycle. Freeze, thaw, trample for days until the potatoes are totally dehydrated and hard as a rock. And remember that white tumta we mentioned? Well, making that has an extra super clever twist. After that first freeze, the potatoes are kept covered, away from direct sunlight. Then they're put into a special hole in a riverbed. It's called a tejana, and they soak there for weeks. The constantly running water naturally washes out certain compounds, and that's what gives tunta its signature white color. So you might be wondering, why go through all of this trouble? It seems like a ton of work. But the answer is fascinating. It's not just about making the potato last longer. This whole process triggers a really remarkable chemical transformation inside the potato, one that makes it safer and, believe it or not, in some ways, even more nutritious. Okay, let's talk safety first. A lot of the toughest potatoes that grow way up in the Andes have high levels of these toxic compounds called glycoalkaloids. You can just think of it as the potato's own natural defense system. Well, the Chuño process, it reduces those toxins by almost half. It literally turns a bitter, unsafe potato into a totally safe, vital food source. And get this part's amazing. Well, yeah, you lose some water-soluble nutrients. The process can actually double the potato's relative calcium content. It makes sense, right? When you press out all that water, the minerals that are left behind just become way more concentrated. Now, you'd probably think that all this processing, the freezing, the stomping, would just destroy all the nutrients. But that's just not the case. A study found that Chuño holds on to a surprising amount of its antioxidant power. To put it in perspective, 100 grams of Chuño has about the same antioxidant capacity as 200 grams of cauliflower. That's pretty impressive. So, when you add it all up, Chuño is a true superfood. Seriously, it gives you food security for years. It's a great energy source packed with complex carbs and that gut-healthy resistant starch. You get a concentrated dose of calcium and iron for your bones and blood. You get antioxidant support, and it makes an otherwise toxic potato safe to eat. It's really the complete package when it comes to resilience. And just to be clear, this is not some new health food fad that just popped up. Nope. Chuño has an incredible history, a legacy that stretches back thousands of years. It literally formed the foundation of entire civilizations. We're talking way back. Archaeologists have found evidence of Chuño production as far back as 400 BC. It was so important, it helped fuel the Tiwanaku civilization. They were even nicknamed the potato culture. Fast forward a bit, and the massive Inca Empire used Chuño as a logistical masterpiece to feed its armies and stockpile food. Even the Spanish chroniclers in the 1500s were writing about how it was sold for high prices in the famous silver mines of Potosi. You know, the historian John V. Mura put it perfectly. He had this glove metaphor. He said that the Andean farmers took the harsh, freezing conditions of the highlands, something that should have been a huge problem, and like a glove, they just inverted it. They turned it inside out and converted that obstacle into their greatest source of wealth and prosperity. Just brilliant. So this ancient food technology is so incredibly effective that it's not just for historians and archaeologists anymore. Oh no, it is now capturing the very serious attention of modern food scientists. And that, of course, raises the big question. Could Chuño be the next quinoa? I mean, think about it. Quinoa went from being a staple food in the Andes to a global health phenomenon. So a lot of people are wondering if Chuño could follow that same path. Could we see this ancient potato on our supermarket shelves someday? And the thing is, science is already on the case. Recent studies are digging into how different native potato varieties and exact freezing temperatures change the final product. For example, they're finding that one potato variety, frozen at -10 Celsius, is way better at preserving protein. But another one, frozen even colder, holds onto more fiber and rehydrates better, which would be perfect for something like an instant soup. So what this all means is that this ancient, totally natural process can actually be fine-tuned with modern science. By picking just the right potato and controlling the freezing process, it's possible to create like designer Chuño, one that's optimized for higher protein or a better texture or the absolute maximum antioxidant content you can get. So this all brings us back to a really powerful question. You see, Chuño is so much more than just a preserved potato. It's a 3,000-year-old blueprint for sustainable, resilient food. And in a world that's getting more and more concerned with food security, with finding nutritious foods that actually last, well, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is the answer to our future hidden deep in our past?